Hello, friends. I'm feeling much more like myself. I thought I'd get on here and try to quickly tell you about my DBS surgeries. I had my first one December 11th of 2024, and it went without a hitch pretty much. I was concerned about being unmedicated because what I feel is my first and most major symptom is a cough, which I explained in a previous video. And this is brain surgery. I mean, come on, brain surgery, you don't want to move your head or jerk or anything. I knew my head would not be movable, but coughing. So when they knocked me out to prep my head, and then they woke me up to do my assessment and place the lead in my brain. My MDS that was there said, "Oh my God, you were coughing the whole time. Oh my God. You know, just making a big deal about it." And she was getting the assessment done, and a few times during the assessment while I was awake, she was commenting on I didn't have a cough anymore while I was awake. She's not coughing anymore. The cough is gone. She mentioned it like 3 or 4 times. And I didn't want to tell her I told you so, but I did. I warned them. She just didn't believe that my cough was anything to do with Parkinson's. Anyhow, so she does the assessment. Oh, and I had to pee. I'm like, are you guys like pumping a lot of fluids into me or something? Because man, I gotta pee so bad. And she's like, well, let it go, let it flow. And I'm like, I'm trying. So she turned around and she told everybody in the operating room to be quiet, thinking that I had a shy bladder, and I don't. I can pop a squat anywhere. Don't care. Don't stress about it. And she goes, you have a catheter down there, but it was just like a suction one between my legs. And I'm like, I'm trying, but it hurts so bad. It's not, I can't release it. And I kept complaining about it while I was awake. And she's just, let it go. And she turned around again, and I just could not get it to come out. And then I thought she was turning on the stimulator a couple times when it was really painful. And she goes, I haven't touched anything. Just let it go. And I don't know what the heck. By the end of my assessment, I was in so much pain. My bladder hurt so bad. And then for whatever reason, I was finally I could let it go. And I realized right then that the reason why I couldn't just pee in the bed, number one, the position that I was in, and number two, I didn't know it. I didn't consciously know. It was maybe a subconscious thing that catheter had moved when she was assessing my left leg. She was making me move it and press like on the gas or on a brake or whatever. And I didn't really consciously know that thing was misplaced between my legs. I finally peed and I just wet the whole bed. That was embarrassing, but I told her that, and she's like, we'll clean everything up, don't worry about it. And they knocked me back out to close up everything. That was the first surgery. The second surgery, I was just out the whole time. They placed my DBS in my chest and ran the wire, which you can see right there is the wire going over my collarbone. And then connected it to a Y connector back here to prepare for the second surgery that I was going to have in the future at that point. So that surgery, no, nothing happened, but that was a week later on the 18th of December. Afterwards, I was good. I took a couple pain meds after I'd gotten home, but I didn't need them long. And then had my appointment in February where she told me she was leaving, and I said, not before you do the last surgery. Don't leave me hanging, doc. So yeah, on March 5th, I did the last surgery. Now that one's a doozy. Dr. Patel was my neurosurgeon that preps me and then closes me up afterwards. my MDS was the doctor that places the lead in the middle when they wake you up. Not everybody's surgery is like mine. Some people are doing it the new way where you don't have to wake up at all. I kind of like the conservative way she did it because to me, I feel like there's more of a chance that they won't place the lead correctly if they don't wake you up and assess you. And I didn't want anything to go wrong. That's also why I agreed and didn't argue about shaving my head without a guard completely, because I know how dirty hair can get with the oils and everything and the dust and whatnot, and I'm very prone to infection, so I didn't want any of that. I just didn't want to deal with that, because infection is like the next thing that makes, it just made sense to shave my whole head, in my opinion. So my last surgery was March 5th. I go in. My husband's not home because I told him I'd rather do this without you. Not really. I said, if Dr. Varga gives me the green light to have the surgery while you're away overseas, I'm going to do it. And he's like, oh, are you sure? And I said, yes, I'm sure, because I don't need Dr. Varga and you and your like-minded bedside manner. You both suck. So I could take her. I can't take you both. So he wasn't here. I had my friend take me up there, and we spent the night in a hotel, which is another thing I recommend. Both my husband and I did it. My girlfriend and I did it before the 2 brain surgeries. And it saved us a long drive in the middle of the night to Austin. So that I recommend to find something nearby that you can spend the night, just one night, and you can get there early in the morning, really close to the hospital. It would be optimal. So we go in the operating room, and I'm awake all these times. They knocked me out in the operating room, not before. And this time, they're prepping me, and I don't think I ever fell asleep. But the Dr. Patel said he knocked me out and my cough started again. So he was suspicious that the propofol was causing my cough. It did make it 10 times worse. So I didn't feel like he knocked me out at all. And when he started, I can't remember what he was doing exactly. I felt kind of groggy, so I do know after the fact that he did knock me out for a second, because he said that the propofol was making my cough worse, and that he was going to have to do this fully awake until after the lead placement, and then they would knock me out fully on some other anesthesia, I guess, to close me up. So I'm laying there and I feel a little groggy, but I'm like, I hear talk and I hear things that I didn't hear at the first surgery, and I didn't feel anything. It's almost like they blocked my whole head. Anyhow, I'm like, hey, Doc Patel, shouldn't I be asleep for this? And he goes, I can't knock you out. The propofol made your cough worse. I'm like, oh, okay. So we're having a conversation while he's prepping me. And then all of a sudden I heard a drill, but I didn't hear it like right here. It sounded like it was coming from down the hall or in the next room or something. Didn't sound like it was like right here. And he said that he was gonna get ready. He had already done the cage, the jig on my head for the drill. And I heard the drill, and I'm like, so I'm going to be awake for that part too? And he goes, yeah, I can't knock you out. You have to be awake for this because your cough. I'm not doing another surgery with your cough. And I'm like, ooh, okay. So I feel like I'm forgetting something. I don't think I am, but anyhow, so he starts to drill, and it literally felt like a DeWalt, battery operated drill that was going through a knot in a 2x4, and it stopped. And he backed it up, and he went again, and it seized again. And I said, is everything okay back there? And he said, Miss Riggs, you have a really hard head. And I told him I couldn't wait to tell my husband. And when I did, my husband said, oh my gosh, you've been diagnosed with a hard head. Oh my gosh, this is great news. So that was a funny part. But anyhow, so Dr. Varga, the MDS, comes in and is placing the lead and making me do all the same assessment on my right side of my body, which isn't, as bad as the first side, my left side. And anyhow, halfway through, she looks at me and she goes, she's smiling. And I'm just like, am I not supposed to be smiling? I couldn't hold it back. I almost started laughing. And she looked back at something to her other side, and she looks back at me and she goes, she's still smiling. It annoyed her. And I'm like, oh my gosh, am I not supposed to be freaked out and laughing at this? I mean, it's like, wherever you place that lead, leave it there. If I'm smiling, if I'm smiling, I'd like it to stay there. I didn't say that, but I wanted to so bad. It's like, did you hit a euphoria button in my brain making me happy? I would love for that. I guess it would be annoying to some, especially people I live with, to be smiling and laughing all the time. But I thought that was hilarious that she mentioned the first time she's saying over and over again how just pee, it's okay, you can let it out, and then the second time she's smiling, like it annoyed her. So when I got to recovery, when I woke up, they were trying to get on top of the pain. I had a lot of pain. I can't describe it. I don't even remember it. It's kind of like giving birth. Don't remember it. But it did dawn on me that had just happened, that I was awake for pretty much 75% of the surgery. And I was a little weird, I guess a little traumatized by it. But they got on top of the pain. I went to my room. I spent the first night there. They kept me on the meds while I was there, the pain meds. But my son picked me up the next morning to bring me home. And I was still, pretty out of it because I was on meds to go home. And I told him, let's go by H-E-B and get the new meds, pain meds and stuff. And we did, but I never took them. I didn't have to. I was in no pain. There was no more pain once I got home and I was in my own area, my own comfort zone. I was good. So no pain meds for the rest of the time. But I did have a little bit of a mental, emotional thing about being awake for that surgery. But that didn't last maybe 6 days. And then I woke up one morning and then it was just a cool story to tell about my surgeries. So my surgeries went really well. My doctor now has finally got my DBS on adaptive mode, and everything's going beautifully, they said. The technician and the doc love how this thing is working for me. And now we just have to continue with the meds, maybe up them again in the near future. I don't know. I'm okay right now. I'm seeing a health coach at UT Health. It's paid for by Parkinson's Foundation, and she's going to help me just get over the funk that I'm in and get me back into the gym and eating right. But I have a feeling that having my honey home for good and not having to say goodbye to him ever again like that to go work overseas, I think that's going to be really good mentally, emotionally for me. I really need him here to motivate me, be understanding, encouraging, that kind of motivation, not his Special Forces Green Beret kind of motivation. I'm really looking forward to him being home and helping me get over this hill that I'm stuck on as far as mentally and emotionally and physically, I guess. since my surgeries. It's been 13 months since the first surgery. And I just want to be back where I was before, going to the gym, being motivated, eating better than I have been recent of late. So yeah, I think with her help and my husband coming home, it's going to be looking up in 2026. So wish me luck. I don't come on here often. This is more, I'm trying to project my true personality. My daughter said I seemed a little stiff and not myself in the last few videos, and I agree. I just don't know how to do this. I don't know how to talk to my phone, to talk to invisible people. I don't know how to do that. So I'll do better next time. Thank you for listening and have a great week. Bye. Stay warm, Texas.